My best friend told my boyfriend I cheated, when I didn't. I, 24F, have been dating my boyfriend Chris, 26M, for almost 2 years now. He's genuinely the sweetest man I've ever known, respectful, gentle, loyal. I really thought he was the one. And up until 2 months ago, everything in our relationship was perfect, but then there's Leah, 25F. My best friend since high school. The kind of friend you think you can trust with literally anything. We've been through breakups, family deaths, cheating exes, everything. She even introduced me to Chris. We were a trio, always hanging out. Together, movies, game nights, trips. She was like the sister I never had. Lately though, she's been different. At first, it was little things. Rolling her eyes when I talked about Chris. Making snarky comments like, careful, all guys cheat eventually, whenever I gush about him. I brushed it off, thinking maybe she was just going through something and didn't want to burden me with it, but then, last month happened. Chris showed up at my apartment looking pissed, truly furious for the first time since I met him. He said Leah had told him that I was cheating on him. She claimed she saw me sneaking into my ex's car after work, that I'd been texting him late at night behind Chris's back. I laughed. I literally thought he was joking, but he wasn't. He pulled out his phone and showed me screenshots, ones Leah had sent him, of text messages between me and my ex, saying things like, I miss you so much, let's meet up soon, and Chris doesn't have to know. Except, the number wasn't mine. And I haven't spoken to my ex in years. I don't even have him on social media. I felt sick. I knew right away, Leah had faked it. She'd made a burner number or app, pretending to be me, to frame me. I confronted her in person the next day. I said, why the hell would you do this? And you know what she said? I was testing him. I wanted to see if he'd stick by you or run the moment he thought you were cheating. I was protecting you, girl. You should thank me. I almost laughed. Or cried. Or screamed. Who does that to their best friend? When Chris found out, he was furious, but also confused. Why would she do this? Why would she try to ruin us? He kept asking, and I know why. Because Leah liked him. I know she did. She always blushed around him, always dressed up when he was coming over, always made jokes like, if you two break up, he's mine. I never thought she meant it, but maybe she did. Now I've cut her off completely. But my relationship is shaky. Chris says he loves me, but he feels weird that I didn't see this side of Leah sooner. It's like a crack in our trust, even if it wasn't my fault. Mutual friends are calling me dramatic. Saying I should have forgiven her because she meant well. But how can I forgive someone who tried to ruin my entire life? Am I crazy? Did I overreact by ending the friendship forever?
I got fired for a lie, so I made my boss lose everything. I devoted 6 years of my life to that company. Late nights, weekends, missed birthdays, my loyalty was absolute. I thought that meant something. I thought I was safe. But I learned the hard way that loyalty means nothing when greed gets involved. It started on a Wednesday. I was pulled into HR without warning. The HR manager, Lisa, sat there awkwardly while Jason, my boss, grinned like the snake he is. They accused me of embezzling funds, falsifying invoices, draining the department's budget. Jason rattled off numbers and documents I'd supposedly signed. I was stunned. My mouth went dry. I denied everything, but Jason shook his head, oh so disappointed. Lisa wouldn't even look at me. By the end of the day, my ID was deactivated, and I was escorted out like a criminal. But Jason made one mistake. He underestimated how well I knew the system. He was the thief. I knew it deep down. The late night emails from his locked office. The weird budget discrepancies I noticed, but shrugged off. He was sloppy, arrogant, and now I was going to burn him to the ground. I spent the next 2 months building my case. My friend Nate in IT owed me big from a secret I kept for him years ago. Nate pulled old backups, emails Jason thought were deleted, file transfers, access logs. What I found was golden. Jason had been creating fake vendors for over a year. Shell companies wired money for services that didn't exist. All routed to a private account in his name. The smoking gun. A PDF invoice he accidentally signed with his own initials. I gathered every file, every transfer, every discrepancy. Then I went to nuclear.I, emailed the entire package anonymously to the CEO, CC'd the CFO, CC'd the board, CC'd the board, CC'd the IRS. And I sent copies to the local business journal. Within 48 hours, Jason was suspended. The following week, he was fired and arrested. Fraud, embezzlement, wire fraud, the works. His face was on every local news station, mugshot front and center, but that wasn't enough. I leaked the news to the industry press. His name became poison. No firm would touch him. His wife filed for divorce and cleaned him out. His house repossessed, his fancy car gone. The company called me back, begging me to return. They offered a promotion, a raise, public apologies. I told them to shove it. I had a new job at a rival firm with a salary double what they'd ever offered, and every time I pass by Jason's empty office on the news, I smile. He destroyed my career, so I destroyed his life.
My sister tried to sabotage my wedding, so I sabotaged hers. I never thought my own sister would become my worst enemy, but here I am, telling the internet how I ruined her wedding after what she did to mine. I, 26F, got married 2 years ago. It was the happiest day of my life, or at least it was supposed to be. My sister, Anna, 28F, has always been the pretty, charming one. Everyone adored her. At family gatherings, she was the star, while I was the quiet, awkward little sister. But I didn't mind, until my wedding. You know what Anna did? She wore a white dress. Not just any white dress, a freaking floor-length, lace-covered, custom-made white gown that looked like a bridal dress. And she made sure to arrive late, walking in after me, causing heads to turn and whispers to spread. My husband's family thought she was the bride. I was crushed. I cried in the bathroom for 10 minutes while my maid of honor calmed me down. When I confronted her later, she laughed and said, relax. Everyone knows you could never outshine me anyway. I swore that day I'd get revenge. 2 months ago, Anna got engaged. She was insufferable, sending daily texts about her ring, her plans, her dress. And I smiled through it all because I had a plan. I found her wedding dress designer on Instagram. I messaged him, pretending to be Anna, saying she changed her mind about the style. I described a hideous, puffy-sleeved, shiny nightmare, think 80s disaster. The designer was confused but complied because the bride knows best. Anna didn't check on the progress until 2 days before the wedding. When she saw it, she screamed. There was no time to fix it, but that wasn't all. On her wedding day, I accidentally spilled red wine on the backup dress her friend brought. Everyone gasped. She walked down the aisle in that ugly gown, and for the first time ever, I was the pretty sister everyone whispered about. Anna didn't talk to me for weeks. My family says I went too far, but they don't know the whole story. Tell me, Reddit. Am I the villain?
I caught my best friend sneaking into my house to see my wife. I never thought the security camera I installed would destroy my entire life. It started 2 months ago. Our neighborhood was hit by a string of petty break-ins, missing parcels, car doors mysteriously left open. My wife Jenna kept nagging me about safety, so I finally caved and bought a discreet camera that looked like an air freshener. I stuck it in the living room, pointing toward the hallway, mostly because I wanted to catch any stranger sneaking in. But the stranger wasn't a stranger at all. Last week, while checking the footage out of pure boredom during my lunch break, I saw something that made my stomach sink. At 2:17 p.m., when I was supposed to be at work, Matt, my best friend since high school, let himself into my house with the spare key I gave him years ago for emergencies. He crept inside like he'd done it before. Minutes later, Jenna came out of the bedroom, in nothing but a bathrobe, and they kissed. I paused the video and stared, heart pounding so hard I thought it'd explode. My wife and my best friend, laughing, whispering, heading into our bedroom. I wanted to vomit, but I didn't rage. I didn't scream. I planned. I copied the footage to a flash drive. I waited. Matt texted me the next day like nothing happened. Bro, beers, this weekend? I said sure. Jenna acted like the perfect wife. I kissed her goodbye that morning, knowing exactly what I was going to do. I set up a poker night at my place, invited Matt, our close friends, and my brother. 10 guys in my living room. When the beers were flowing and the poker chips were stacked, I grabbed the remote and said, hey guys, you gotta see the new break-in footage I caught. I hit play. Silence. The screen showed Matt slipping into my house like a thief. Jenna, in the robe, the kiss. Them going into my bedroom. No one moved. Matt's face turned ghost white. My brother stood up, fists clenched. One friend muttered, holy, *T. Jenna walked into the living room right then, holding snacks, smiling, and froze. The whole room watched the clip on loop. I looked at Matt and said, you can keep the key. You're going to need it at the motel you'll be sleeping in tonight. Jenna dropped the tray. I tossed divorce papers on the coffee table. I kicked both of them out that night. Matt lost every friend we had. My brother made sure of that. Jenna, her family disowned her. I kept the house, the car, everything. I rebuilt my life from the ashes they left behind. And every time I see that old camera, I smile. It saved me.
I found out my best friend slept with my boyfriend during my birthday trip. On my 25th birthday, I got the best and worst surprise of my life. My best friend Mia, 26F, and I have been inseparable since college. Sleepovers, secrets, late-night crying sessions over boys. I trusted her with everything, including my boyfriend, Lucas, 27M, who I'd been dating for 3 years. For my birthday, Mia and Lucas planned a surprise weekend trip to a beach resort. I was touched. I thought, wow, they really love me, but something was off. At dinner, I caught them exchanging glances. In the hotel pool, they laughed too hard at private jokes. When Mia accidentally grabbed Lucas's hand thinking it was mine, my stomach twisted. So that night, while they were downstairs getting more drinks, I checked Mia's phone. I knew her passcode. And there it was. A thread of messages. Last night was amazing. I can't wait to have you again. She's so clueless. They hooked up. Multiple times. Even the week before my birthday. I felt like throwing up, but I smiled, wiped my tears, and planned revenge. On the last night, I booked a private dinner by the shore. I told them both I had a special announcement, something that would change everything. They looked thrilled, probably thinking Lucas was going to propose. I stood up, raised my glass, and said loudly, to Mia and Lucas, may you both burn in hell for betraying me. I threw Mia's phone on the table, screen unlocked, messages open, and walked away while they both stammered and gasped. Other diners stared. It was glorious. I cut them out of my life the next.
My girlfriend humiliated me online, so I made her a viral joke. Claire was addicted to social media. Everything had to be recorded, posted, shared, breakfast, TikTok, outfit change, Instagram, arguments, live streamed, of course. I put up with it. At first, it was cute. She'd film our vacations, our dates. But soon, everything became content. I begged her to keep our private lives, well, private. She laughed. Babe, this is how I build my brand. The breaking point came one Sunday. She posted a prank video, claimed I cheated. Faked screenshots of messages with some girl, recorded herself crying, sobbing, accusing me of being a lying piece of trash. It went viral, 500,000 views, thousands of comments calling me every name imaginable. My boss saw it. My friends saw it. My mother called me sobbing. Claire giggled. Relax, babe, it's content. They'll forget. I broke up with her the next day, but I wasn't done. Saved everything, all the drafts of her fake texts, footage of her rehearsing fake crying, a folder full of receipts. I sent them to a friend who runs a popular meme page. He posted them all. TikTok liar exposed. She staged fake cheating drama for clout. Boom, millions of views. The backlash was instant. Brands dropped her, followers vanished. Former fans turned on her. She posted apologies, teary-eyed, begging forgiveness. Nobody bought it. Worse. Screenshots of her DMIs leaked racist jokes, fat-shaming followers. Burning every bridge she'd built. Now she works at a tiny cafe. No sponsorships, no deals. She begged me to take down the posts. I laughed. She humiliated me for followers.